Okay, you'll see. Hello everyone, I'm Bella and it's time to talk literally nonsense. Hello everyone, as it's been stated before, I'm Bella and I am a writer and filmmaker and I'm here to help you with your writing journey and also to talk about books that we love so much. The name of this channel is based on my master's thesis, which is about literary nonsense. I think you heard about it before, but not this name. Probably when you read Alice in Wonderland. So this is the most famous one, and I decided to give this name to the channel because when we talk about a book, let's be serious, people around us think that we are talking nonsense all the time. You know, especially if you're talking about fantasy, which is what I read the most and also write the most. You know, fantasy can be very confusing if you're not a reader. And also if you are a reader, it's also very confusing. So I am here to help you with your journey with writing, and if you just like books and you want to hear about them, we are here to talk about the books. So today, for our first video, I am bringing the one and only Rebecca Yarros. I think you may have heard of her before because, you know, she's all over Book Talk. I'm not on TikTok, but I know I've seen it. She's also on Instagram and everywhere. So Fourth Wing is currently her most famous book. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so besides our beloved Fourth Wing, Rebecca Yarros also wrote like 17 romance novels, and I haven't had a chance to read them yet, but I heard so many good things about it. But the important thing is that today we are going to talk about our main lessons that we can learn about writing fantasy with Rebecca Yarros. Okay, so I believe that it is important as a writer that you take someone that, you know, made a good job and try to learn with them, because sometimes you can even not like the author. You know, I never met someone who doesn't like Rebecca Yarros yet, but you know, if you even don't like the author, if the author had succeeded in what he did or cheated, you know, it's important to learn with them. So brought for you today 3 lessons that we can learn with Fourth Wing. Okay, so let's talk about the first lesson, which is the what the fuck element. I call it like that because it's the whole reaction I had to the whole book, the whole 3 of the books actually, because Rebecca Yarros knows how to make you, you know, lose your mind and lose your sleep. I have to say lose your sleep. I lost a lot of sleep because of this woman. And I think the most important thing that we can see about this what the fuck elements that Rebecca does is the fact that the book is so disappointing that it is exactly what you wanted. Okay, so now hold on, don't get me wrong, I love the book, I love everything that happens in it except for a few things, but the thing is, what the things that happens in the book are so disappointed. You get so, you know, it's just not what you're expecting, that you need to know what's going to happen next. Okay, so Rebecca Yarros made us love the book by making us hate it, and this is genius. So here in Brazil we have this saying that if you kick the bucket, you have to take it back because, you know, it's, you need the bucket. So this is basically what happens with Rebecca's books, especially the fantasy ones. You basically kick the bucket, you say you're never going to read this book again, I don't want to read the book if that happens, but you have to read the book because you need to know what's going to happen. So I think this is the best part about Rebecca books. You know, Fourth Wing, it's full of surprises the whole time. Everything that we keep yearning for in all the books, it's already settled, you know. So for example, you don't have to wait for the main couple to get together. You know, most of the books, they take like 2 or 3 books to be together finally. But you know, Rebecca has another problems for her characters, so she just make them be together on the first book, and you know, has the rest of his they do have problems, which is amazing. You know, couples with problems, in the books. That's something that is missing actually. So I actually like that because you never know what's going to happen. Usually I know very early in the books what it's going to happen before reading too much of the book. So I get so surprised by everything that Rebecca does because you never know what she's going to do next. Okay, so the lesson 2 is characters is a reader's best friend. Okay, so something very important that I noticed in her books is that, okay, first of all, who doesn't love Radok? I mean, he does all of the fifth grade jokes that we miss and we wish could do, on the daily life. Not everyone accept them very easily. So she had this very human character that it's funny and he doesn't have a future. We just love that. We always love someone in our group chat that it's no future. Depending on the future they don't have. And I think what it's worse about what Rebecca does with us is that she's sadistic. Okay, she creates these amazing characters, made us love them, and then she keeps us giving those Easter eggs and tips saying someone's going to die. What I hate about the tips is that in love at the same time is that they can be about any character that you love. Like you can identify anyone in what she says. There is always a list of people who could turn that, and it's probably the one you like the most. So for example, she did it on her last book on Next Storm, and don't worry, I'll not be saying names, but let's just say that someone did something bad, and someone else did the same bad thing but in a different way. And it might be like 3 different characters that did that, and 2 of them everyone loved, and the third one is just would be too much, if it's him. So this was so amazing about Rebecca characters. You love them, you hate them, and they are human, they are vulnerable. All of the quirks and bugs. Everything about them. Basically, you feel like they're friends, and friends that you want to go back to. Our third and last lesson is sincere representativity. Okay, so this is very important because today we can see a lot of books where they just put a token character they can represent a certain group, and that is not okay. All right, so I think something that I realized into the Fourth Wing series is that there is like there's a sincere representation. You clearly see that representation is there because Rebecca cares about it and she is surrounded by those people, and she's not just voicing something so people don't come and get her. Um, and I think this is so beautiful. Of course, I can't talk much about the Bug community, but I did heard some friends saying that they loved, especially Rihanna, because she's such a strong character, and there was a friend of mine who was talking about how Rihanna was important to her, and I think this is beautiful. And another thing that is very important is the LGBT community representation. It is important to show everyone that it's hard to go to LGBT phobia. However, we also need books where hello? We also need books where LGBT representative is being normal to be LGBT. People just accepting that as something normal, as something part of the community, and not something they have to throw rocks at it. This is very important. So the characters can concentrate more in developing themselves instead of just concentrating on trying to surpass something like their LGBT phobia. Now, for the reason that I really love to talk about and really can't talk about is the disability representativity. Okay, I'm so happy about it because I am a Spoonie. If you're not familiar with the word Spoonie is a word for people with chronic illness. Okay, uh, I'm I'm not going to answer into that right now, but I'm really happy because the main character is a Spoonie. She has EDS and BOTS. Um, I have bots, so I remember the moment I first realized that Violet Sorrengail had bots. I got so happy and I started crying. I had to stop reading the book because I was too happy for that. There's nothing like, being so sad about the fact that you cannot get out of the bed so much, and suddenly you see someone, even if they're not real, that has the same thing that you do, but they can ride dragons. This is really important because the main character has hypermobility and bots. I have bots, so I remember the moment I realized she had bots. I was so happy I had to stop reading the book to cry. And so this is very important because in fantasy it's really rare to see a character with a disability. Sometimes you can see someone without a leg or without an arm, but with an actual illness, usually they are the people that stay on the bed and you have to bring something to them. It's really important. You just spend days uh, just laying on your bed and thinking, oh my god, I can't get out of the bed because of bots, and suddenly you have a character, even if they're not real. Writing dragons with bots, that makes me so happy, and it brings a new perspective to people. So please do more disability main characters. Well, so this was today's video. I had so much fun talking about Rebecca Yarros with you. I really want to invite you to subscribe and like the channel. I'll be posting a lot of things about writing and about books. And you can also give a look into my links down below because I have my socials, my Goodreads, and templates for Notion. You can also please come to the comments and request for videos, anything you want to know about writing. So I'll be posting videos every Wednesday, and I see you at the next one. Bye bye!